Hello, this is PG, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing When I Was Young on Steam. It's also available on the Nintendo Switch. When I Was Young is a 2D action game developed by Walrus Group. The game is set during the Vietnam War and follows the journey of a soldier through that conflict. Okay, gameplay. Well, it all starts out at boot camp, where you get to grips with the traversal and the combat. Now the system itself, I'd say it's not that bad. The boot camp tutorial obstacles, on the other hand, that is an absolute off-putting disaster. It isn't very well signposted and can completely put you off the game. Like the first time I played this, the boot camp stuff, I never got through it. I just touched upon it and then was like, this is really annoying. However, once you get through that boot camp, the game does improve. Now I do think they could improve that process with different text updates that dictate like what you do on the last course, because it isn't worded very well. But anyway, as I said, once you've got through that, if you can stomach it, then you get to the Vietnam War. Now things here become a lot more varied. You'll still have to read page upon page of narrative that frankly isn't that interesting, but you do get to go on operations, missions involving searching for enemies, uncovering traps and leading your squad to safety. I would say though, the game never really hits its stride with any substantial momentum where you sort of feel, wow, this is really interesting or really enjoyable. It's very slow, it's long-winded, it's drawn out. It doesn't quite fulfill the potential that it clearly has. In regard to your marine, you can shoot a rifle, you can attack with a bayonet, throw grenades, crouch, use machetes to clear the jungle. Like I said, you'll be disarming traps, and let me tell you, these things are almost impossible to spot, resulting in some absolute comedy gold and frustrating deaths. On the whole, it's a nice idea for a game, but I'd say it just lacks a little bit of quality of life or user-friendly nature to make it an actually enjoyable experience. In terms of graphics, it looks nice in a sort of retro pixel art style. The sound, I'd say it's not quite up to the standard, with music that plays on a loop and very quickly becomes irritating. The sound effects also, I'd say, are quite limited, and there's no voice acting of any sorts, which I think would have spiced it up. Anyway, the verdict: When I Was Young, it's an interesting idea. It sees you play through the Vietnam War, from leaving your home, attending boot camp, and witnessing the horrors and the complexity of the war itself. It's the execution of the gameplay and the pacing, for me, that let it down, in the long run, with overly drawn out segments taking away any sense of momentum that the narrative might create. Also, the controls, I'd say, lack a sense of responsiveness, and there are parts of the game that are just frankly almost obtuse in nature. Saying that, I did enjoy the game in parts. And if you enjoy Vietnam War games, I did feature this one in a documentary I made about the conflict and about the games. I'll put a link in the comments and the description. But back to this game, it's okay. Don't expect a classic, but it has some charming elements, albeit lots of issues that do bulk those down a bit. Okay, scoring, I would give When I Was Young a 6 out of 10. That's the review. Thank you for watching. This is PG signing off. Cheers.